Hey everyone, it's Matt. So today I want to talk about what you can do, what money moves you need to make in your 20s such that you can achieve multi-millionaire status by the time you're 65 and are about to retire. And I'm not just talking about, entry-level multi-millionaire here, okay? I'm talking about bank. I'm talking about 5, 10, 15 million, depending on the amount you put in, even more than that, such that when you get close to retirement, not only are you able to achieve this multi-millionaire status, you are essentially able to create a legacy around yourself. Okay, so this is what we're going to talk about in this video. Now, if you're obviously somebody who just wants to make a couple of $1,000,000 and essentially call it quits, that's perfectly fine too, right? But you'll set the foundation here, right? And then you can just stop working and do whatever it is that your passions lie at an earlier stage, but the foundations will kind of like get you there. So let's talk about it. The biggest thing that you have, or the biggest benefit that you have in your 20s over all the other age groups, is you have the benefit of time. There's a rule in investing called the rule of 72, okay? And it's generally pretty accurate. What the rule of 72 basically says is you take 72 and you divide that by a rate of return of, say, like 8%. And I like to use that 8% rate of return because that has been the historical average annual S&P 500 rate of return over the last 40, 50, 60 years, okay? So if you take 72 divided by 8, it's going to spit out a number, which in this case is 9, okay? And what this rule basically says that every 9 years, your money is going to double. Okay, so when you have something like that, you can imagine what happens when you're starting out in your 20s, because you're going to have like 4 or 5 cycles of doubling that basically happens when it comes to your investments by the time you turn 65. So it's hugely powerful to get your money invested as quickly as you can and as early as you can in your 20s. Okay, so this is what I want you to do. When you graduate from college and are about to work, right? Or when you're leaving high school and you're ready to go to work, whatever it is, the first thing I want you to do is ask your employer, do you have a traditional or a Roth 401k? If they say they have it, ka-ching, okay, you're already on your way. So if they say they have a Roth 401k, I want you to take all your money and put it into that Roth 401k. Okay, the Roth 401k has a cap of around $19,500 at this shooting of this video. I want you to contribute as much as you can towards that Roth 401k. Now, it's not lost on me, okay? I know you're not pulling bank when you're graduating from college or leaving high school. I know you're not making a whole lot. So put as much as you can. But the minimum that I want you to put in it is basically equivalent to the employer match. Typically, employers will say that we can contribute or we will provide 3% up to a certain dollar value. So at a minimum, put that in because you don't want to lose out on free money. That's just absolutely ridiculous. So your first thing should be look for that Roth 401k. If the employer does not have a Roth 401k, maybe they'll have a traditional 401k. If they have a traditional 401k, all I want you to do is put in the amount of money up to that employer match. Don't worry about the full $19,500 number, okay? Just put in as much as you can up to that match. The second thing I want you to do is I want you to open up a Roth IRA account. You can open up a Roth IRA account just about anywhere. You can open it on Fidelity, Vanguard, you can open it up anywhere, okay? So open up a Roth IRA account, and I want you to max out that Roth IRA account. The maximum amount currently is right around $6,000, $6,500. If you can't hit that number, put in as much as you can, okay? Put in as much as you can such that you can achieve as close to that $6,000 as possible. If you can hit that number, you're well on your way towards making this whole multi-millionaire status. If your employer does not offer a traditional 401k, right? Because I know lots of employers, they don't even do that. At least open up the Roth IRA. A big reason why I want you to open up a Roth IRA is because the money in that account is very similar to the Roth 401k, in which any of the, when you pull out the money or when you withdraw the funds, it's all going to be tax-free. And you can imagine how powerful that is. All your invested money, as we talked about, right, is going to go through 4 or 5 cycles of essential doubling. When you have something like that happening, it's going to reach a very compelling amount by the time you retire, and odds are it's going to be in a higher tax bracket, or you're going to be in a higher tax bracket than what you're in right now. And if that is true, then you're going to have to pay a lot of taxes if it's not tax-free. So you want it to be tax-free, and that's the benefit of putting it into a Roth type of investment. After that, what I want you to do is look at your health plan, and I don't want you to sign up for any type of Cadillac plan, no premium plan, none of these types of fancy words, okay? If you're a person of good health, right, or good enough health, I want you to take advantage of the highest deductible plan. And if you take advantage of the highest deductible plan, what you will be eligible for is a thing called healthcare savings account. The health savings account is absolutely huge. Okay, I think it's got a contribution limit of right around $7,000 at this point in time. So what I want you to do is put as much as you can so that you can get to that $7,000 number. Okay, health by far is going to be the most expensive cost that you're going to have at retirement. What an HSA basically allows you to do is a couple of things, okay? Money that you put in there is all tax-free. Money that you take out of it is also tax-free, assuming you're using it for healthcare purposes. And the other benefit of it is a lot of states, they also allow you to get a deduction in the year that you're actually contributing. And the fourth benefit is an HSA is sort of an investment vehicle, okay? So you put your money into various funds. All of those funds, or that appreciation that is basically happening, which will all come up in your withdrawal on the back end, is also all going to be tax-free. HSA is huge. I'm not going to talk too much about HSA. I've done a different video on that. Just check it out here in terms of investment options and that sort of thing. But that's what I want you to do after that. After that, you can put your remaining money into a taxable brokerage account or a traditional IRA, or whatever it is that you want to do. It doesn't matter all that much, even if you have surplus funds in the first place. Because I know you're starting out, you don't have that kind of cash, right? Or you may not have that kind of cash. This is going to be the foundation, and this is going to get you running. After that, and just in terms of general money moves, right, outside of investments, what I want you to do is get a credit card. I know a lot of people will talk about how you should not get credit cards, this and that and the other. But the bottom line is get a credit card, okay? Get a limit on the credit card if you feel like you're going to have some challenges in terms of maintaining discipline and that sort of thing, okay? Get a credit card, put a limit on it, say $1,000 a month or whatever, and pay that credit card off every single month, because then you're going to have a nice juicy credit score as well. If you have that credit score, you can use it to borrow things in the future, okay? You may decide to buy a house in your 30s or your 40s. You may decide to buy a car at a certain point. You may decide to just take on a personal loan so that you can start up a business. Your credit score is going to come huge handy, okay? So you want that to absolutely happen such that you can take advantage of it and have a nice credit card score. Once you have your credit score built up, once you have all of these investment vehicles all set up, juiced up, and ready to go, okay? So take some of your money and I want you to just spend it on whatever the heck you want, right? Go live your life, right? You want to travel, go travel. You want a fancy car, go get your fancy car, right? I want you to take care of these investment vehicles first, right? You get your credit card, you get that properly loaded up second, right? And then you go out there and go nuts, okay? And spend money on whatever you want. Your money is just going to be an autopilot, and it's going to be growing, and it's going to be compounding like you wouldn't believe, and it's going to help you achieve that multi-millionaire status. So I hope you enjoyed the contents of this video. If you did, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and I will see you soon.